AFN did try to play the power position for a little bit, but they lost focus after they started trailing off in terms of those points. Sem9, on the other hand, they stacked those players back to back. The play for Laundry should have been strong from AFN, and it was exactly that. They made that stand. But Taylor Shop, hard point number 4, was the most questionable decision for me in terms of AFN going in for this match at Crossfire.
Yeah, I do agree with you there, AJ. They were there, they got the break, but they just didn't try to get the scrap time. They rotated earlier. They had a hard time actually because the RNG, the spawns were already given to them, but they didn't
Yeah.
manage to hold it down properly. It took them a while, and then they didn't even get the scrap time. Went for the rotation, lost their rotational gun fives, and in the end, it just really costed them in the end.
Yeah, and this was the most messy hard point for both teams, the 5th hard point at Verum. Not to perfection, but I think it's something that they will be able to learn and buff up even further, because so far their Crossfire matchup has been very solid. Playing backyard is instrumental. Playing backyard, especially if you've got something like the Holger in your hands, or you've got the XS1 Goliath, you're going to be an absolute monster, and Wareroom is going to be untouchable. But of course, we skip on over to the Search and Destroy, where AFN actually made a comeback.
Yeah, AFN made a comeback in the Search and Destroy, but it was just it was very sloppy from both teams. It just really came down to the last gunfights, individual gameplays, small mistakes from all the players actually, just, over pushing too much, over peeking, looking at this too much, it was just a sloppy S&D. It just came down to who had the better gun skill in the end, AJ.
Yeah, man. And, at the end of the day, I feel like Sem9 as well as AFN, they are two equally matched squads that I want to see more of in the competition. Thankfully, we get to see exactly that. AFN will be performing, well, not today. We've seen them jump into 2 series already against Junior Games Esports for the opener, and now against Sem9. Overall, in total, they actually tanked 2 losses. It's not a super awesome day for them, is it? But I think the fact of the matter of the fact is they managed to push DG Esports quite far. They almost took the games against M9. That stands for something, Jericho?
Yeah, it does stand for something, but it might haunt them in the end once we tally the leaderboards. Maybe, maybe those 2 points could have at least made them top 4 or maybe even top 2, So it just really, it's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. But at least now they can learn from these mistakes as AFN Gaming. But let's see if they can improve on it on the next day.
Yeah, I want to see both AFN as well as Sem9 improve little by little all throughout the competition. Once again, it's going to be a single round robin at the group stages where top 4 from each group will move on to the playoffs. So you're going to have a total of 8 teams stacking in the playoffs, and that's the Garena regional qualifiers, man. I don't know how many times I'm going to repeat this like a broken tape recorder, but it is going to be absolutely lit because of the quality of teams that have jumped on in here to take each other on. And this matchup, this series was a clear indication of that as to how close the skill gap is between these teams.
Yes, that is true, AJ. And now that we have the best of the best, it just shows that all these teams have something to prove. They want to be that player. They want to be that team. They want to be that org to be the one representing it. And this is just the beginning for both Group A and Group B. Because we have a lot more days, AJ, and we're just getting to know these teams now.
And I want to get to know them a little bit more through their plays. And hopefully AFN manages to, grab a couple of wins as well. Nobody likes to go on a losing streak. And I think it's going to hurt them a lot in terms of confidence when they go into day number 4. It has to be on day number 4. Why? Because tomorrow, Group B will take a little bit of rest. Group A jumps right back into the fray for a little bit of action. This was that final matchup, 150 reached by the side of Sem9. Close enough for AFN. Smokey, I think he truly deserves the MVP title, man. He most definitely was a one-man army there in a majority of those situations. A truly, truly solid leader for the side of Sem9.
Yeah, Smokey just dictating the pace, the in-game leader for Sem9. He's improved as well. I feel like, every time he's playing, the team is always calm,